This is a new channel, so I don't expect to have a lot of people watching me. I have 0 subscribers, so be my first subscriber. I took a small scalp trade, which I should have stayed in because it just keeps going higher. I need to, when I'm in a position that's up, I need to be thinking about adding to it rather than getting out of it. Um, we are definitely seeing a lot of market exuberance today. And I'm just waiting for an entry. I hate, we're like right in the middle here. We just tipped this moving average, which, being a futures trader, I'm still new to it. So I'm not, I'm going to have to see which indicators will work best for me. If you have suggested indicators, please go down to the like button or comments and let me know what indicators you like to use. I've got the MACD down here. I got a 3-minute chart open here and a daily. I also got on my hotkeys here a quick jump. I can go and look at the whole thing, like with different time frames and such like that. This seems like maybe I would guess here is maybe a quick short, or to maybe scalp a short down a little bit before we go higher. Or we might just squeeze higher. It looks like we're just squeezing higher. So these little blue bars are when we have 3 in a row. So since we had 3 up bars, we got that like that. Yeah, so if I'd stayed in that trade, I got out at 40.18 and we're at 41.34. So yeah, I left a lot of money on the table. Um, I actually I was afraid we were going to break through this low right here, and just should have had a little bit more confidence in my trade there. So here's where I thought that maybe it's going to stall. Now, I don't know how to look at the book real well on this yet. I'm thinking this is the sell side and this is the buy side. Um, and so that would probably help me if I could. Yeah, and so it kind of did what I predicted, was to pull back here a little bit. I had a feeling it would, but there's so much upward momentum and so much strength right now. It doesn't look like it's going to stay there long. I mean, we were only up 2.6% for the day on this, so which I say only, that's still a big move, but there's the news of the inflation being less than expected is probably means that this market still might have room to run today, because in the big scheme of things, 2.5% is not necessarily something that you want to short just because it's up this much. I wouldn't think. So my hypothesis was probably right. Oh, I just realized I got my silly laptop on here. I apologize. See, I don't see that. When I'm unless I'm looking at my actual stream, and the market is open. So yeah, I'm doing a good job here of managing what's going on here. So waiting for market open, I can hide. Oh, come on. I have like a loose connection on one of my drives. It keeps coming up like that. And we are waiting instead for. I wish people would stop messaging me. I'm becoming the angry trader. I don't know why people have to just send me texts all freaking day long, it seems like. Turn all that off. Alright. Angry. Alright, yeah, nothing's been easy. YouTube is just not being kind to me with the logarithm the last I saw, in terms of just being able to do what I want to do. So what is this long thing? Long one contract. And then this one is long one contract. Yeah, so I'm just trying to fix my my stream here a little bit, waiting for an entry. The pullback was like I expected, but I'm not going to trade things just because I think they're going to happen. I'm really trying to be patient, because if you're not, we know how easy it is to get burned not being patient. And I think I got my macro set up now so I can say waiting or not waiting for entry. Yep, I got that going. So we're waiting for entry now. It's tough here a little bit, I think, because I really don't know that I would want to trade here in the middle. I'd like to get it above this, get in, or if it broke below here. So this, do I want to scalp trade inside of this? What is a big red bar, certainly on the higher time frames. So if I jump out here and look, I guess that would be, so there's a 1 minute and I have a 15 minute. I probably could really use a 5 minute, but yeah, this red right here, looks like we're gonna squeeze higher again. But I almost expect to get into some chop now, and so missed the big run. I got a little small trade on it, but I just wasn't really. I didn't do my prep, and prep is really important. So anybody watching new, I'm a new futures trader, very experienced in options and stock trading, but my futures trading is weak. Okay, so now it looks like we might push above here. And so this maybe would be a good entry if we get up above here. Then we would look to have resistance at this point. I could draw some lines, I think. There's just not a lot to go on from, I don't consider this really valuable to me because it's so much above the gap. I didn't think we'd fill this gap, to be honest. So I wasn't expecting the gap fill. It's just too far down to go. This is looking more bullish now, and so I'm tempted to put a long entry in here, but it's just a little bit too outside my comfort range. I have $1,000 account, and so we'll say, yeah, if I went long, I would have done good here. So far everything is kind of gone the way I expected, but I haven't always done a trade on it. I'm very cautious. So some of it is I'm hoping to find some feedback from people who might get in a chat and tell me their experiences in trading futures. I'm certainly not going to just blindly take, if someone says go long, I'm not going to go long, but I'm definitely interested in people's opinions, and I'll listen to people's opinions, and if they fit with my trading strategy and I concur, then maybe that advice will be helpful to me. It looks like we're going to get a push higher here, I would think. Now what I would look here is for this to cross. So that's we're getting kind of clear signals because of the kind of volume we're having, I think. So one of the things I've learned is these indicators just do not work as well under low volume. It's like you're not getting a real perspective of the market, because on low volume you're not getting a really broad market participant, and so these indicators don't work as well. But I think they're going to work better today, as it's a lagging indicator. We're already moving higher here. The confidence in the market, it's better to be safe than sorry, and the trade that you don't take preserves your capital, and patience will win out. Now you can see the books here, that we got what looks like some, all of this is program traded. Like you can just tell by the way it all moves up and down in the big lots. Somebody came down there and filled out a little bit bigger, somebody, but you can see the sides are kind of evenly matched. There's not like really any one side of this that's showing higher numbers than the others, and so that's kind of what I'm looking for in the book, if anyone else has tips on reading the book. That's probably where I'm weakest at, and I don't usually trust it much because people just pull their bids up anyway. Um, this is Tradestation, and I haven't figured out how to only just show the yeah, I haven't figured out how to only just show the trades that went through instead of the trades that, the asks and the bids. So that might be something that somebody's a Tradestation person, they could tell me how to, better configure my market depth. And I have my market depth on this other screen a little bit more, like you can see more of the book here. And so this should be the buy side, this should be the sell side, and then of course people are fighting here in the middle. And so we're looking, from everything I understand, and we can also see that we have this the picture of it up here as well, that if it ever gets where one side is really out of whack, that's and seeing those shifts are how you tell when things are going to turn around. So let's go back and look again at the other picture of this, and it does look like we are continuing just to melt higher, which is not surprising to me. But we are seeing, when I look here, I see this little. I'm bad at the names of the patterns. Whenever I see the spikes up and it pulls back, if it can't get over here after a couple more attempts, then I'm going to be thinking short. And I think most people would agree with me there. If this fails a few more times, then we're going to come back down and test here. At some point, as we get more data into this chart, another hour or two in, I'll start putting more lines and on here. So we're above the moving average now, and I just don't know how much this moving average really helps any more than this down here. Feedback would be appreciated by anybody in the comments, but I think it's looking more like a fall, that we're going to pull back, and I think we're seeing that, just a little bit of a pullback. Now, so one of the things I'll look for is this histogram, is that we probably will slide through here until we get to some more areas like this, like down in here. So I like this volume bars, and as soon as I enter a trade, I'll be able to see my profit and loss over here on the side. Maybe this would be a point of a long entry for some people. Possibly they're seeing a continuation of this moving up towards this resistance. So like I think I had said, that we're getting a little bit more chop now. I'm losing perspective on the moves, because when you get a chart like this that's gone, over 100 points each way, it gets a little bit harder to see everything. Once I get a little bit more data, I'll be able to kind of push this off, and we won't see it anymore. One thing I could do, I might as well go ahead and do it, is I could do something like take just this much. I like Tradestation, but sometimes it's a little frustrating to end up with a chart you don't want. So I'm going to hit plus to zoom in, and then pick what I want to zoom in on, and I'm just going to grab these bars here. I don't like that it doesn't let you grab through the rest of it. But now I'm just kind of ignoring the noise, so I can see a little more closely what's going on with these moves, and it makes me see that a little better perspective of what I can actually make in terms of profit with it like this, I think. Because I can always zoom out to get a better perspective. Getting a scale for how many points I can actually grab in each of these moves. Then I can use this to collapse it or expand it. So I'm an experienced stock trader, but I don't know futures, and so this is a challenge. Now you can see I think it's starting to kind of pick up a little bit of people thinking that this is going to be kind of a new support line. We're at the bottom here. This is a pretty big red bar. So far it's kind of like I said, if we fail this, which we did, we failed it, then it goes down. So just like as predicted, again, preserving capital. I'm looking for those perfect trades almost. One of the things I've learned is it's really easy to try to make money where it's just not the best time, and so patience is my objective here. I intentionally reward myself mentally and for not taking trades. Um, I would think maybe there's a chance, again, to go long, if anything, and that despite this sell off I hear, I don't think that it could be argued that today is a down day. The problem is with those gap ups, like there's a gap and then it ran, and now here it just gets really hard to tell what's going on, and it also makes it harder to read the chart, I think, because you just got a lot more struggles to get good pictures of it. It's just the fact of how charting software works. I could maybe come like this. I'm just trying to get as good a picture as I can. Wow, look at that spike up here. So at some point somebody basically purchased a 41.83, yeah, before it pulled back. And this is where probably having some good logarithmic automated trading would help, where you could maybe capture some of these big moves like that you just really can't do if you're trading discretionarily. You have to be ready to catch those. So one of the things I look to do here in the future is to get into some program trading. I am a developer and I write software, so I should be one of those people that's not just discretionary trading. I should be using some systems that are automated, and Tradestation's really good at that. So looks like we found support here, and we might move back higher for a little bit. Shaking and baking, not finding direction, lots of chop. Like I said, we have to find support first, and it's not there. It's still pushing lower. Looks like there might be a little bit bigger book on the sell side right now, just a tad. It's not easy to read the book. I would think there's some AI tools that maybe somebody could develop that would help with just kind of telling you whether the book is looking positive or negative, rather than trying to analyze so much number at the same time. But Tradestation puts them on the matrix here, and then there's more data in the market depth screen. Down, I keep down here on the left. Not sure I need it. I've hidden my trade bar, because it has my account number on it. But you'll see when I enter, it'll show up on here, and we are pushing lower. You don't want to fight this. This is still red. Remember, I was like saying that I'd be looking for this to cross over for a firm entry, and it looks like we might for sure test this bottom. If it breaks below this, then that's when I would look to get short, and that should be a pretty easy short trade if it breaks much below this. The fear is the fake breakdown. Like, it'll fake us out. It'll look like it's going to go low, and then before you know it, it'll just come right back up with like one of those spiky things. Lots of positive overall considering, but I think a lot of investors are trying to fade this rally, is what it looks like to me. And I just don't know whether it's the smart money or the sucker money right now. Probably I'll never know. But I don't really like going long off a full red candles like this. But the problem is I'm looking at this just in one time frame. When I'm looking at it here, we're seeing the pullback here on the daily. If I go and look here, we're still seeing on the 1 minute that it could break through and go lower on the 1 minute. So I would think of going short here possibly. Um, and we'll look for a little bit more. I'm not going to go short on the breakout. I'm going to look for going short when it pulls back to the resistance here, and then I'll go short if it continues down. It's just because bullish day. It's a little contrary to go short against, I think, a market open. It's just so bullish. But I think here's our VWAP right here. The V right here is where most of the volume now, as we break down lower, as we go break through this, I think it's safe to say that we might actually try to fill the gap. I can't say that. How could we possibly fill this gap? I don't think. No, this is 7:30. We might fill this gap because it had already moved so much higher here. Market opens, goes, and then now here we are. Here we are. It always wants to fill the gaps, but now we're showing the buyer stepping in. Remember, I said I'm not entering because there's just I don't see the clear signals myself yet. I probably should have taken that short here. I knew it could, and then now off of this spike would be tempting to go long. I think if it can close this bar out. Again, multiple time frames. I almost in my head kind of see how it looks in the other places, and the longer that this spike stays up and it's off this low, the more bullish I think this gets, that people are going to want to push back here. So I think I might do a quick entry. Let's do it. I don't care whether it's a it rejected it because it went above it. If I do a limit, it'll never reject it. Okay, so now I'm going to put in a stop immediately, and I'm going to make sure I get it closer. Okay, well, I'll probably move it up. I'm scalping here a bit, because the one thing is if it's going to pull back, I might as well take my profit, right? Take a scalp. There we go. Now, it'll probably hit that, but maybe not. And I'll just let it keep running then. Maybe I'll get a little lucky here. I'd rather be lucky than right. I mean, to be honest, luck is what you're kind of hoping for in some sense, is that it's gambling, and I almost should have a target here. But I like to trail. I like to let it run if I can. And so I kind of want to move it tighter, because on $1,000 account, I lock in 2%. And if I just get $20, I've locked in 2%. So I'm seeing it pull back. I think I'm going to get stopped out here for a small little scalp. There it is. I'll take that. It's weakening. What else are you going to do? So I got a good fill. Tradestation fills well. I think they're a direct CME broker from what I've heard. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I did what I had to do there. I'm not going to beat myself up. So I don't know how much I made on that exact trade. I think I made 975. So I almost made a point on it. And because of obviously the market shaking and baking and the indecision here, I would almost call that lucky. That was not a great trade. There's just not enough market one way or the other deciding. This pullback here to this level here is telling me that just Nobody knows for sure. There's not a lot of confident. We're not trending anymore. There's no trend. We're just going to be chopping around. And to be honest, this might be kind of like another one of those days where that we just had a little bit too big of a move, and we're going to chop a lot, and you're just going to have a lot of patience to get a good entry. Because here's the thing: is if there had been a lot of continuation here, that would have worked out really well, and we'd probably be right up here now pushing this resistance. But we didn't make it to the resistance here. We failed mid level. Midway through this, it's already failing, and so now we're thinking maybe there's more of a short here, because there's just too much pressure. We didn't even get close. It's like a lower high here if this can't keep going, and then unless we're just chopping around, we're going to see a lower low. So I think, again, just it's why I put that stop in immediately. I probably should have, when I'm future trading, an auto stop, and I can do that. I can set that up with the tool, but it takes time to learn all those things, and I'm still just kind of discretionary trading. At some point, I'm planning to hopefully automate some of this. And one of the things I've learned with this future trading, I'm never not going to have a stop in. It's burned me. It's burned me in stocks where I just don't have a stop that's in there, and I think I have like a mental stop, but then when it gets there, I end up justifying not selling or not closing my position, and that's how I ended up down. I started buying AMD at 95 or so, and I've been cost averaging down to 75, and I have 1,000 shares long now. And that's all because of just poor stop management. I should never have gotten in those positions. But I've been writing calls against it and making money. So I'm not beating myself up, but we're learning from all of this. Now, let me see if anyone happens to be listening to me. I don't think that's even possible. I'm disappointed in that, if you're watching this, that YouTube's giving me no love on the logarithms. Like, I'm invisible on YouTube right now. No one can see me. I'm invisible. Okay, so, I could have stayed in this trade. A lower stop maybe. Yeah, because I'm above where I got out at. I don't know. It's just choppy, you hope it's going to go one way or another, but yeah, look, failed twice here, and if it failed up here or there, yeah, but it's failing mid range. It's just not very bullish. This is all resistance, or just chop. There's nothing with direction. And if you want to just keep trying to trade inside these things, I think on a regular market day, that would be completely fine. But this is like a big gap up day, and it just makes it makes for a lot of volatility, but it's within this is like real well-defined range. There's just not a lot of entry. So now it's looking very bearish to me. It looks like it really wants to push lower. I think if it broke through this VWAP down here, this would be a sign that we got to go lower. This is a level of support right now. So I could maybe even come in here with a drawing, pull up just a line. Where's my lines at? Just a trend line, and just like draw it across here, kind of like that. That's our. That's kind of where we're going. This is one of our resistance points. If it gets below that, we're probably messed up. And then we got one here, obviously, and one here. These levels, because everything should trade in levels. So where will it go? If it falls through, I'm tempted to think that we're going here, to the gap. Try to fill that gap. Because once it falls below this, I just don't know that there's just not support here, And that's why once we're going in this downward direction, fading the open, you can learn from this. And there it goes. It's wanting to go down. If I had more confidence in my futures trading and didn't have such a small account where I just really need to grow it and not blow it out, I'd probably be going here. Um, yeah, because I have right now 1,038 is my account. So now we're gonna go drop below this VWAP. I would think short. And I hate doing it. It's just gonna bounce. It's just like, uh. So yeah, we're pushing below it now. I would think I just want a little bit more time down here before I start going in. I think everyone's gonna be thinking here that this has to go lower. Let's look at our book, because sometimes the book will tell a lot here. And I don't even really know what I'm looking for yet, but I'm looking at it so that through experience I'll know next time. So a lot of this is I'm kind of shadow trading, shadow trading. I don't ever paper trade really anymore. And the reason I'm not I don't really paper trade, especially like with this futures, is I've got a stock account with 45,000 in it. And then I've got this futures account with just 1,000. Why would I want to paper trade when I can keep my losses to $10 or $20, $50 maybe at most, lose 0.5%. Now, so here we go. This tells me that I'm going to go short here. I'm thinking that we're just not going to hold this. Now, what I'll do is I'll put my stop in maybe here. And then I'll just bring it down as this falls, if it does. So we're gonna try to go short. I'm gonna be really quick to bring this in. Okay, yeah, we're going down. We'll see if it continues. We're going short. It'll probably either, I think, since we're chopping around the V, it's going to have to get below it, or I'm going to probably get stopped out. So I probably should have waited for the pullback to go in. So I'm bringing this down. I don't want to lose more than I need, because it's just going to probably hit this anyway. Fuck. Angry trader. Hopefully we'll push lower and I won't get stopped out. I'll just leave it. Let me see. If I was really thinking about the best place to put the stop, 418. Oh yeah, we just got way too much movement here for me to be probably trying to scalp like this. I'm gonna lose that 25 bucks. Yeah, and then probably go long instead, like actually flip it. There's just nothing I can do except have the stop get taken out. And then probably go long, because this really tested that move. If this continues to break down, this will have actually been a really good place to put my stop if it doesn't get hit and it breaks down from here. But otherwise, I don't know. We'll see. I'm really surprised. I thought that stop was gone, and it looks like the sellers are coming in. I don't know. It's tough. It's too much chop. I should have waited for a pullback entry. This is not shaping up into one. This is just me fighting the chart at this point and figuring that that's the best place to get out. And I'm depending on a little bit of luck here. There you go. So now it'll go down. Yeah. So that was a horrible place to have my stop. A horrible place to have my stop. They literally just knew right where it was going to be. And then now we go lower. So everybody learns when it turns bad for me too. So I just lost $25 just like that. Order rejected. and I'm trying to get in again because I do believe now we're going lower. I just and if I lose another, I'm gonna keep it closer this time, and we'll watch me lose a lot of money here probably. Wow, look at this. I can't keep my stop that close. This is going lower. I'm convinced of it now. I just really am. I just think I needed to be more patient. This is breaking down, I think. It's rough. It's not easy. Like, none of this is easy. That stop was just in a really bad place. This one probably is too. I'm just got to hope that the luck is with me here. There we go. Keep going. Now we should see a continuation, I would think, of this. There we go. And if I had just stayed in that and hadn't got that, man, they got my stop to the penny, like literally to the penny, and then it just, and so I don't know that I could have done better, but I'm gonna get my money back possibly here by bringing this down I'm gonna bring it to here, and then I'm gonna quickly make sure that I think this is looking really good now. Nice. So now I can I'm gonna go ahead and probably take that
Order filled.
because I just want to. I just don't think that I want my money back from my loss, and I hate that it's like chasing that, but take the big bar. As a big red bar, I grab my profit, and we'll see if the market now is going to kind of try to bring that back up a bit. I probably could have stayed in that trade and brought it to break even instead. Leave a comments. I'm new to futures trading. I make the same mistakes stock trading I'm making futures trading now. Let's see. I got out at 40.99.75. So I'm below where I got out at. I should have stayed in the trade now because now we're really breaking down. And we're probably going to fill the gap. So got stopped out, and then I cut too soon, leaving a lot of money on the table, and I'm basically at break even on that trade, when I could have just been watching this thing go lower and lower and lower and been a lot happier. Well, now it's looking stale, a little bit. There you go. But my account is at I'm up 3.5% on my account today. So that's something, I'm up 3.5%. So I'm not going to be beating myself up. I'll probably just say how much percentage I'm up for a while. People going against the red bar. I think the one thing you have to always remember is it's easy to think that everyone's trading the same time frame as you, and so I'm popping back to some other time frames here, and it looks like on the 1 minute, and it looks more positive on the 1 minute here. Like if I look at the 1 minute, yeah, there it goes. It failed again. Yeah, so we're seeing more down. I think more selling. So I'm going in again. Tighter stop. I'm going to scalp it. I'm going to scalp this. I'm just going to keep going. Remember, this is a full percentage point for me right here. This is 1.5% for me right here. I'm going to bring it back up a little bit. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Nice. Just keep walking it down.
Order filled.
All right, we picked up another point or so. I'm up 50, so I'm up 5% for the day now. Scalping it a little bit. Getting in, getting out. The gap fill is right here. We might have just filled the gap. That was the gap. That was the gap fill. Right there. They touched the gap at least. Probably a little bit more. I guess this would be the very bottom of the gap, but for practical purposes, for practical purpose, um, I guess it's not technically the gap though. This is kind of like the gap between pre-market and I think yeah. So here we are in pre-market, and it ran up, and then it looks like at some point it just kind of gapped, probably when the news came out. So this is when the news hit, and it jumped from here to here. And this is all, I think, before market open. Nope, that's market open. Yeah, it says market. It gapped from pre-market. All right, so now we go long, maybe? Maybe on a little stop market here. If it continues, it looks like it's not enough confirmation. I like these, like when it tests like this and pulls back. Those are strong entries for me. It tells me that the market saw it lower and they rejected it, and then now the buyer stepped in, and so to get back down to this level here, we need more fear. We need people wanting to get out more. If it's going to get down to here, I think we're moving higher now. I think we are. Okay, so here would be the buy 495 or so. Yeah, 495. Yeah, so this is kind of the place, and so then we'd expect resistance probably lie along here. But we might not be done selling yet. And remember, I'm ignoring on these long entries. I'm ignoring the fact that this is all not giving me a indicator to go long. Like there's nothing about this MACD that's giving me influence. So now we're seeing the whole truth of the fact that I should have probably, if I had not gotten stopped out here, which was, it's bad luck. My stop was just a little bit too close. But if we're not that happening, and I had had the courage and kept my stop further back, it would have been really easy to ride this thing to maybe like a 50-point gain, maybe that much. Yeah, maybe not quite that much. A 25-point gain. But yeah, we're learning. New futures trader here. YouTube is giving me no love on the fact that I'm a new channel and have no subscribers. So I'm just putting this out there so someone 6 months from now who's bored and out of the 50 million different futures trading things just happens to think that mine is worth watching for an hour or whatever. Okay, so another test here lower that just failed completely, and so now is more of a reason to think that maybe we won't. And I think I don't see that it still hasn't quite broke through that gap. So maybe people are just not ready yet. But here I would think if it gets above this level here, and can hold it for a little bit, then we're gonna start. Yeah, I mean, I think what you're really wanting to look for is for things like that. It's almost like the people that were really excited about this this data, this inflation data, may have not been the seasoned traders. That was it might have been just a little bit of retail market excitement. Oh, the inflation. See, and I like to trade counter trend, and it's always burned me. I've never made money that way, but boy, do I love it. And it's so tempting to want to take a long position here because you think, well, it's gone down this much. How much lower can it go? But man, we just keep going lower and lower and lower. We're way below the VWAP now, and we should be crushing through these things right here, just pounding through them. When you see these this is part of the gap in Tradestation, these matrices, because there's no shares traded through here. So this is all pre-market data right here, basically, that you see. So here would technically probably be at 417. That's a long way below here. Yeah, so Yeah, we had a big gap up, but some of this was pre-market. I guess that is that. That might be a pre-market open right there. And then we went up, and we shaked and baked for a long time. Man, that was a good short right there. That was like a classic short. We're well below the moving average. Um, we're just now starting to see the signs that this might turn around. These three spikes failing to go really lower on them. You know, they're all kind of testing the same levels right here. So if we don't break below here, which now the gap looks like it's filling pretty good here. This gap at least. It seems like that's, you know, this gap is not the real gap though. If we're looking at the real gap from yesterday's close, that's a lot bigger, and we will not feel that today. I just don't think that'll happen. That means that we'd have to go all the way back to zero here, and we're still up 1.5. Now the good news is for me, I think this is, I am long AMD. You don't see that, but I was also long some call options at 72 in AMD, and it's still above 72, I'm sure. Let me see if I can see what it is. Yeah, it's at 73.15 now. So this pulling back for me is actually going to help me get out of some of those calls. Somebody consider that. So we're starting to see turnaround. I would think maybe the book, if I knew how to read the book, that this would be where. Yep. So there it is. There's the turn. It's failed. See, 3 times it's failed here. So I think if it gets above this, that's me. That's long, and so I'm going to go ahead and go long. I think I'm going long. I'll do a. If it gets above this, I'm going long.
Order filled.
And then I'll put my stop in. Let's see, where's that number right here? Maybe like right. Where is that point? Right there, 485. That's pretty far down. I think I'll just go ahead and put the stop in at break even, aboutish. Try to let it run. My stops are just too close. Let me go back closer down to here. Come on, go. Not fair. Oh, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yes, please keep going. Better be lucky than smart. Better be lucky than smart. It's just there's too much volatility. My stop's a little close. I don't like losing money, and if it's gonna go and it's gonna go, it's gonna go, right? I'm gonna get lucky sometimes, right? By preserving my capital, and then maybe I take this because maybe I take it. No, see the problem is I want that big run, and if I can just be patient enough, just be a little more patient, it's just not gonna give it to me. I don't think the buyers are not coming in fast enough. It's gonna come back. There we go. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, so I think I'm going to just get a little more off the bottom here. Because remember, I get a full percent if I can get to the 10. And I shouldn't say that because I'm going to lose $1 on my $1.25 on my trade. Okay, here we go. So now maybe I have the patience to say, okay, what's this level right here? Well, there we go. That didn't take long. I can always re-enter, you know. So I made about 1% on that, 1% on my account. And you know, hey, look, it's showing weakness. It's pulling back. It's pulling back. I'm gonna have to keep my stops wider. I guess what I'd say is that was like a scalp trade. I'm scalp trading with the potential to go higher if it squeezes. It might not be so bad. I just don't have enough experience with the market yet with the futures. But I'm not going to beat myself up, especially since we're like really right at where I got stopped out at right now. I think it's going to go higher though, and it makes me want to re-enter. So like, what's the point of putting a stop in if I'm just going to re-enter it anyway? And you can see the building of it here. It actually probably what I would do is maybe look at buying on this pullback. See if I can get an entry here.
Order.
Oh, bad news here. Get my stop in quick. So much volatility. Hopefully, that wasn't so bad. Man, Just the squeeze is real. Come on, come on. I want to take my 1% again. Screw it. I'll just scalp it. Take the 1%. If it squeezes higher, I get more. Otherwise, I've got a percent. Now I'm saying a percent because it's $1,000 account, but now I'm at 1,000.
Order filled.
I'm getting higher. I'm at 1,070. So I've made 7% today. 7% in one day. Brand new, first time trading futures. 7% in one day. First time trading futures. So, do I get out and take, I could have, say, wow, 7% in one day, and I've kept very little risk. Like my risk has been I've been risk averse, and my adversity to risk it kept me from making a lot on that short. I can go long again when it gets above this level. It's like as long as it's now this is, if it fails here 3 times, man, well, it hasn't failed. It's failed twice here. It's failed to get above this level, once, because that's it happening. Then it failed again. And if it can't, on this third bar here, it can't get above there, then, it's going to probably go lower because of failure. Failure breeds failure. And then we're seeing that now. It's breaking down again. And there we go, lower. So I'm happy I scalped those. If it had continued and hadn't taken my stop out, I would have kept just moving my stop up. Now, I get really good fills. I got a fast internet connection, and Tradestation is really fast. I think I've heard that they're a direct connector to their. Look at that. See that failure, and then now we're breaking through here. So where do we go? I should be in this trade, and I want to step in it now, but I have a feeling that the buyers will step in before too long. The buyers are going to step in because we just gapped up a little too much. The only thing I'd think of is maybe the whole market has been in bear. It's been shorted, and there's a lot. And so the shorts and the people that have been selling this market, they're confident in their positions. Longs are not that confident right now, and so when the sellers are going to come in and pressure, I think you can see we're bouncing off that moving average everywhere along this whole line down here. We're still going lower. Still going lower. Wow. See, good. I've failed in this because the trend is lower, but I've been scalping higher. If I'd been scalping lower, I probably would have gotten a lot more lucky on those stops. And then and look at all the money I would have made. Instead of, I would have like maybe, I'd be up like 30% now instead of just 10%. Or yeah, I'm almost up 10% on my money. I'm up 7% on my money. So, and that's with commissions. It's actually 6.85% with commissions is what I've made today. And so now maybe would be a long. So I'm doing the opposite of what I should do. Is I keep looking for a long because I keep thinking that we gapped up, and at some point this market's going to maybe want to retest those highs of the day. But that's probably, I don't know if it's bad to think that way or optimistic to think that way, or just that the fact that I think that the market likes to sell and fade big moves. It's just as simple as that. The market likes to fade big moves. Now, here's another instance where people at this level bought it up. They brought it back up here to this. And once we're just seeing a repeat of this same pattern, right? So we went way down, we tested, so we went way down, test, went down, and so we're going to test here again. Failure to go lower, but then this red bar said, screw you guys. I'm still not using profanity in this channel. I'll wait to see who my audience is. But yeah, this is a test. Again, going lower. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a third red bar, once this one closes. And it reminds me again that not everybody's looking at the same timeline I am. All right, so why can't I? Where's my button to close this puppy? Is that it? Okay, yeah, that's annoying. All right, but yeah. So here's the multiple time frames. I got a 15-minute here. This is probably the one that I would look at after the 3. I think I really kind of need a 5-minute. This is a 4-hour. And I just look at these to say, okay, so we did have, we pulled back. This is actually probably a good one to look at right now. Look at the sell book here, too. Looks heavier than the buy, maybe. It's like closer to the money. The book is showing a little more bullish and further away from the bid ask. It's looking less, and there's a big buyer here. Yeah, I think I want to learn to read the book better. All right, so let's go back to my other screen. I really like that I can set up as many workspaces as I want, and I can just hotkey between them. So this is showing support here a little bit. 3 red bars. Yeah, we might get a third one here. Yeah, so this is the third red bar. You can tell it's a third red bar because that's when it gets the dot on it. So as soon as we get 3 consecutive bars either way, you get this dot. So you can see that, and that's usually, it's kind of showing you a point of where you're running into maybe, what'll start to top a little bit, being like resistance. So we didn't get that, and we're running higher now. There's just a lot of volatility, even in the trend. Every bar is moving quite a bit, and then I'm new to this asset. This is the first time trading it, and so this is like looking a lot like the other pattern. The bar size is almost exactly the same, the red bar size, and then we're chopping through a little bit without a lot of direction. This one's like a little like this bar, and but notice how this one tested the lowers more, and this one only tested it once, and now we're green. So I want to look and see if this thing can stay above this point for a little while. Maybe that's the turnaround. Like, again, I think people fade the opens. It's hard for me to see this as a downtrend because we gapped open so much. The trend is down off the gap open, but at some point I think you're gonna want to see people turn that around. In my experience, that you gap open, you fade the gap fills, but we're so far above the gap it might not be able to, and then it goes back up. That's just kind of how it goes. So now we get 2 green bars. We're gonna see a little move. I'm not gonna go. I think it's almost like if I can get 6.8 and a half percent, 6.8% the first day, I'm gonna take that. Have my account end up positive. So I'm gonna be a little bit more conservative about my entries. I think I'd want to maybe have it see it come above here. So if we get above this level, I would probably go long, but maybe what I'd want to do is start shorting actually if we're starting to show resistance here, because I could see this is resistance. Not like right here is resistance even. We're going to see resistance right here. What was support becomes resistance. And so this level right here, resistance. It just is. And if we push through it up to here, then the next resistance level is where my blue line is at, I think. like right at this level. So we have a resistance here, um, and because we're in this downtrend, yeah, there's the resistance. You can just see it hitting the moving average. It's hitting these moving averages, and every time we've hit them, we've sold off. We still haven't crossed the MACD. Now, look, we're starting to see, this is getting closer to where it's showing it might want to be bullish. I'm going to jump to this time frame. We went green. See here, this one crossed over. So on the 1 minute chart, we have a positive buy signal, and we have a lot of green bars. I like trading the 1 minute sometimes with options. It really seems to be like a head. It's like all of these indicators are lagging indicators. So if you're using a 1 minute chart, then you're kind of ahead of the 3 minute chart in terms of the lag. There's not as much lag. This is now pushing bullish. And you're seeing it on the 1 minute, but you don't see it quite as much on the 3 minute. This hasn't crossed over yet on the 3, but it has on the 1. So if you're less risk averse, I think you jump in here. Is what I would say. And there's that resistance though. See, this is the real deal. This is, I'm not lying to you. I've done it a long. I've traded for 30 years, and so my biggest problem is discipline, but you can see it in hindsight, once it already happened. But we're seeing here resistance, but you can also see the flattening a little bit as we're starting to turn a little bit. This down move was bigger. This down move is not quite as big, and then this is down move after this one. We haven't pushed back through this. So here's a test. So it did just what we thought it might do. It pulled back, and it's up against it right here. The question is this the time to short? Like, we should be shorting this, like on the pullback, and there it is. It was a short, probably. Could have at least scalped that for another percentage point. But here we go. Here we're seeing it. We're seeing that we have a higher low here. And I know on the 1 minute chart, it's even more showing it. So I think we might be getting close to where the market's satisfied of fading that gap open. And that here we're showing like a bottom forming, a little bit of a bottom. If we look at the 1 minute again, it's actually showing more of a continuation rather than a bottom forming. And then this is barely showing anything. So let me fix this chart a little bit here. Let's zoom it in a little, because there's just a lot that we don't need to see there. There we go. Yeah, so this is more of just continuing bearish. This here, and this is another one we just have too much data on. I didn't really set all these up yet. I wish it would let me drag out here and still change the zoom. Okay, so there we go. And no indicators yet. I do intend to have indicators on. No, I'm just being lazy. Okay, now there we did it. We did just what I thought could happen. Either we push higher or we fail, and if we fail, we push lower. These are good days to trade because there's a lot of volume. People are excited. They're in the market. Yesterday was awful. You just couldn't get moves like this. So we're down here. If this comes back up before this bar closes, then this becomes a really solid support line because we've tested it for the last 20 minutes. So we're looking here. I'm going to draw another line because this is now becoming another support line. And I know nobody's watching me, like, right, at the live, but maybe somebody will be back in and like, is it gonna let me take and drag it again? No, I guess not. I'll just leave it. It's all right. Yeah, I can drag it. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is more bullish because we've tested this now here. It came back down and tested it again. So if we can clear above here, that starts to look a lot more bullish because we've multiple tested this now. And we need to get above this moving average. And then I think then this becomes, let me click on that and bring it just a little bit up, probably. Yeah, just a little bit. There you go. So here we got a resistance that because we tested it here and we contested it here multiple times, then we fell through. We tested here and we held. It looks like we've held. And we for sure held on the 1 minute chart. And then now we're moving higher. So I think a move above this level means at least we're going to get to here. And I think there's a good chance that all of this will eventually turn towards trying to test the highs of the day again, or at least towards it. Otherwise, we'll probably keep selling off. This is getting ready to turn as a buy indicator. It looks like we'll get a crossover here if this moves higher, but we're not off of this support yet. We need to break through the other high kind of here. And this is like actually considered a bearish engulfing pattern if this bar closes here. And so you would expect that it could go lower until we can get over this red bar. We don't want to go long, is the way I would see it. And once we get past this red bar and can hold this level here, then we might want to go long, and we might not. Like I said, I've already made profits today, so I'm getting more picky about my entries. I don't want to give money back to the market at all. I've scalp traded, and I didn't intend to. I'm not a scalp trader. I don't like scalp trading. I think that's when I can get some automated tools, auto entries, auto exits, some program trading stuff together in the futures. I'll do that. Here we go. We did not hold that. We probably go lower if this breaks down again. The fact that we're just getting rejected so much off of the highs, the spikes off this high and a spike off that one, this is now becoming a point of consolidation. It's not really showing up on the volume chart here. We can get kind of nice as we're going throughout the day. This volume chart's going to really help us show where people are wanting to get in and out. But yeah, this is a support level right now. This is a support level. That buyer stepped in again. Buyer stepped in again. Buyer stepped in here. Buyer stepped in here. Buyer stepped in here. Buyer stepped in here. It's just that as soon as it gets up here, the sellers are like, no fucking way. We're getting out of there. Now, this is a fight. The fight's real right here. This is where it's at. If it goes lower, we're going to, we'll go lower. If it goes higher, we'll go higher. Yeah, that sounds smart. I think that this is more bullish now because this is the reason. We haven't tested this low again. So I'm going to make a long entry.
Order rejected.
It's a good thing it was rejected, huh? We're gonna just wait. We're just gonna wait. There's just too much pressure. I want to see it. The fact that we've not been able to get back down there again tells me that this market is really not comfortable with more lows. This is maybe I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Patience. That was good. I didn't get that entry. It was really good I didn't get that entry because I would have just had to take a loss here. I would have for sure stopped myself out. I'm looking to get into a trade that's already moving in the direction I want to go. I don't want to have a $50 drawdown when I'm up 68, 70 for the day, and I'm on the first day trading. which is a lie. I actually yesterday wanted to do this, but YouTube wouldn't let me go live with my channel. They made me wait 24 hours. So I did a couple of scalp trades. It looked almost like today. I was down $50 at one point. I was down 0.5% drawn down in my account, but I managed to scalp my way back to break even. So I opened today with like $1,002. And so essentially started this with $1,000 account. You're seeing, so you didn't see all the trades, but I was at break even on my account after like 3 or 4 trades. It was more than 3 or 4 trades. I probably did like 8 or 10 trades yesterday, but they were all little tiny scalps. One big loss of like $50 that I had to take. I took a $50 hit on a bad trade, and then I managed with like 3 or 4 smaller ones to get it back, which is the opposite of what I want. What I want is to be able to have my winners be double my losers. Okay, so here we go, man. I just can't hardly imagine we're not forming a base here a little bit. It's what it is it's scary. You see these tests of these lows, and they're pretty big pull downs. Because of this big gap. Let me try to zoom in a better thing. I'm going to take that little top out. Let's do that. There we go. Yeah. I don't need to see that big spiky thing. All right. Yeah. So now we can just like see a little more depth here. Yeah. This is starting to look more and more basey, and it's all because of this. If this was just red and it didn't go so low and pull back, I wouldn't be so bullish. But we tested this 1, 2, 3 times now, and it never got this low. And higher lows, and then this green bar, it's just tempting. If this was a stock account and our options, I think I could put a stop in right here and feel really good. But with futures, I can't afford to go long here and put a stop in here because I'll be down like $150. It's like I have to have my entries timed so much better on a futures trade with this small account because I can't have a drawdown like that. And if I had a $30,000 futures account, maybe I'd feel better about it. But yeah, I tell you what, it's a chop. Is what it is. It's just a big, big, big chop. Big chop. Yeah, it's almost like my conclusion here, just patience. Just patience. Patience, patience, patience. I can also tell my little macros to say whether or not I'm entering or not entering is just not really working for me. I have a little macros on my YouTube so that I could show whether I'm long or short or waiting, but I'm not going to remember to do those. And it's good I don't. I need to focus on the trading more than on the streaming, especially when nobody's freaking watching me. But there we are. I have 2 views. And that's something. No subscribers. Oh. I got 1 subscriber. 1 subscriber! Yay! I got 1 subscriber. What do you think about that? And there I am live. It is what it is, right? There we are. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm even live. I've just been talking to myself. Is that what's happened? It shows me live. It shows me live. I may assume I'm live. But I can't even find myself. You know, I'm like looking for myself and I can't find myself. Okay, I am seeing myself live here now. I probably should open up the YouTube channel for myself here. In my whoa. Get off my screen. Boy, I tell you what, they're sure not kind to you in the algorithms if you're an unknown on YouTube, because I am invisible right now. And I know that this will be put out as a regular video, and then eventually someone might come across it, and then people will actually hear this. What am I doing? We got to go long. Don't we? No, I don't know what we do. Man, it's just too much chop. I need an entry that it is anticipation of moves like that. I don't see how we don't go higher here though now, practically. This is basey. This is based up. Tested these lows. At least it seems like a safe entry to enter around this level here. Man, it just keeps. Oh man, I tell you what, man, I'm so glad. Every time I think about going in and then I don't, I'm always very thankful. But I think buying below this level is probably okay right now. And we'll probably go higher. So wherever you get in at is good as long as it's going to keep going higher. It's just the sellers really are scared, is what it is. I think you probably have a lot of shorts that got trapped by this big market open, and they're just really, really, really trying to get out of their positions, and the selling just it becomes intensified here. So we have 3 green bars, a base forming here. The long entry probably above this candlestick maybe. So like right here. Maybe there. Just because if it goes back above this candlestick, it's probably going to stick. If we test this low again, I'd be surprised. So it's almost like maybe here's the entry. I'm going in. I think it's time. And I put a tight stop. Very tight. Too tight. Yeah, well, hey, that's better, because this thing is that's not much money to lose. Hey, that's like just like $5. Yeah, I can get back in again. Yeah, look at that. This is where I want to buy. I'm convinced that we're not going lower than these lows here. I'm just pretty convinced of that.
Order filled.
I think we're going to bounce off these. And then like I shouldn't enter probably. I'm hoping that I'll get lucky here. Oh, look at that. Yeah. I want my 10% or my 1%. I want my 1%. Yeah, I got my 1% now locked in. So I'm scalpy-ish, but I'm hoping it'll run further. I'm going to take it back just a little. I can afford to give a little back. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's get me. Yay! Look at that. Yeah, that was what I like. That's what you like. Let's move it up a little. Move it up a little. Oh, come on. Give us a break. Give us a clean. Give us something. Okay, it didn't hit my stop, but come on. Push. Yay, go, baby, go. Keep going. Yes. So, if I can clear that, there we go. Then I'm going to want to bring it up maybe to like there. I'm going to get stopped out probably, but that's 2%. That's 3% there if I took that. And I could do really well here if I can just be patient. Look at that rundown. Dang it. They just don't want us to have any luck, do they? I got a great fill, though. I've gotten filled on my stops every time. So I got that fill. I got 2% on that trade. What am I up for the day now? We're going to crow a little bit. I'm up 7.75% for the day. I need good entries though. That's just, it's gonna go long. It looks like to me here. Oh shit! I don't want that. Um, so I'm scalpy-ish because I might as well just take it when I can get it, and then if I get a big run, I get a big run. We're basing right here. I just can't afford to take losses, you know? Ah, damn it. I'm going to take one here. Yeah, so this is time to get out. I think the way it's had two red bars, maybe not. We'll see. I just can't believe that we can't get higher now. And it's gonna go higher if it doesn't go lower. It hasn't hit that lower low now for a long time, and that lower low, and then we have a higher low. I think I'll pull this back a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit bigger loss, but I just made 20, right? So I'm going to think of this as a break-even trade here. This is a break-even trade. If I lose this and it stops, it's a break-even because I just made 20 just before. And I know we're basing. I know we've tested the lows. We've gapped up big, good inflation. Oh, and look at the book on the book is looking bullish to me.
Order.
Well, I take that loss. Yeah, and then we'll just swear. But so now I am only up 5.6%. So gave some money back, but what are you gonna do? One day I'll have a live trading channel where people will actually watch it and they can tell me and help me, and we'll have a collaborative thing about like, hey, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. Yeah, this has got to go. This is just. I think the sellers are trying really, 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 really hard here at this level, and the buyers are trying hard here, and we're just chopping around. So I'm gonna play it cool, play it safe, just wait a little bit because that was an unfortunate thing there. I keep hoping for the run. Luck is always better than not, and than being right. And so you want to try to make smart entries. You want to try to protect your capital. But what you're really hoping for is by protecting your capital and making smart entries, that you're going to get lucky, and you're going to get in at a time where it's just gonna really run. And you can see these bars. I think I was correct that I just don't have the capital or the experience to not be a little bit scalpy because I can't know that this was going to happen. I can think it's like I've said, I don't think it's going to break below here again because of this bar right here. People already tested this low many times. It keeps failing. It keeps failing to go lower. And so then you want to think that if it gets above here, we got to go long. It's going to have to go long. And that's like, what point is that? 40.84. Yeah. Like right up in here. I think what the part of the problem is everything's just getting so choppy that it's just not really good trading here. Wait for it to show a clear break above this level and like sustainable, not just like for a second. Because these are lower highs. Here's a high, and then there's a lower high, and then there's a lower high. So far, this is a lower high, and it is a lower lows. So we have lower lows and lower highs, or higher lows and lower highs all at once. Possibly a bullish engulfing pattern developing here a bit. I think the bulls overall have an advantage. Here we can see the cross is maybe starting to happen here, and we'll start to see some push higher. I think it's happening. I think what I'll do is put in a buy stop here. Oh, shoot. I'm just not going to do anything. The sellers just keep you scared, man. It never did break below those lows again, though. So if you're buying here at this level, then you're doing really well scalping. You always can just grab 30, 50, you know. In my case, I can grab a pretty high percent. All right, let's keep shaking and baking. I want in this. I think it's going up. Ugh. How is it not? The question is this a basing pattern to go higher, or is it just chopping around here and moving sideways? I think on a market day where we opened up here, that it seems like this is a basing pattern. And I think I'll just have to wait till it clears this level before going long. Long entry needs to be above this candlestick. I just can't be impatient. So what is that? That's 488, 4088. So like right here, this level, I can put in like a buy stop here maybe. But you know, you can have fake breakouts, and so maybe the thing to do is to buy it once it pulls back. All these kind of things are just things I'm new to. I think one thing to do is maybe scalp it and then buy it on the pullback. So that's a possibility too. This is crossing. That's a cross. So we're getting a buy indicator here. I'm going to be a little more gutsy
Order filled.
in that I think that this is turned around. I think that they might try to scare us again, but I think overall we're seeing a positive move up. This is looking bullish. This is bullish. I know I don't have to look at my 1 minute to know it's bullish. And we will see we're above the moving average on this 3 minute chart. We've tested these lows like so many times. So I'm more bullish. And I'm not going to... I need a stop in, though. I always want to have a stop at least somewhere. I never not have a stop in on these futures. I tell you what, because what if there's a 9/11 event, you know? My account would be wiped out before I could even move. So I'm not going to move it quite to break even yet. I'm going to move it like to this break even, I think. Oh, come on. Yeah, we're going to go higher. And I'm going to try to not chase and bring this stop too close. I know. I have a parrot, and they're talking. I need to get a camera I can put on you. Oh, I'm going to get, yeah. Well, see, this is where it's like let me scalp this just for like a 1%er. If it'll let me. I think I waited too long. Let me just get out of this with a little profit. Yeah. So... buying the pullback, yeah. Yeah, so we'll get it when it goes above this again.
Order filled.
Yeah, we're gonna go higher. I need to stop worrying about it. This all is just this is now the new resistance, I think. I put a stop in. Maybe here, and just wait, just let it develop. Let the trade develop. Don't chase it too much, just let it go. We've crossed here. We've crossed here. Everyone else is on the later term time frames are going to feel it. That we've seen a trend reversal. I think it doesn't mean that I won't get stopped out here and be basically giving up most of my profits for the day, but um, I'll still be positive for the day even if it hits this stop. Now I don't like where my stop is at, but I just can't afford to give up money. Yeah, I probably should have waited for more of a pullback. I think this stop's in a bad place. I'm gonna bring it. I'm giving up a lot of money to bring my stop down here. But it doesn't make sense, I think, to not give it room to run. I'm just gonna have to do it. I need to trade with confidence rather than fear. If I lose this trade at 37.50, I'm still positive for the day. All right. See, now that makes me feel better because I'm pulling up. You know, we're moving up off of that and fast enough that it's reflecting. It's going to reflect in people's indicators. You know, one of the thing is any red is bad, any green is good if you're long. I'm trying to trade a trend reversal on a small, tiny, itty bitty account that I don't want to lose money in. Um, and I think it's just awful. Not knowing what to do. The thing is the moves. It doesn't take too much to shake you out, man. They hunt the stops really good. It seems in the futures trades. Um, I'm losing at that low on. I'm losing 3.75% if this stop gets hit. And I'm up 5.5%. So, I'll have basically given up a lot of my a lot for the day. I feel here is a point of kind of inflection that it's almost impossible to imagine that we tested all these lows like this over like an hour now, 30 minutes or more, and it just wasn't going to go lower. We have two big green bars. This is probably where my stop should be if I can afford it. 484. Well, that is where it's at. Not quite, but yeah. But this is a good stop place right here, like right here. Because if it breaks below that, then who knows? And we can see that probably for the most part, I'm in a pretty good position here. To trade this higher. Because once it pushes above that green bar there, we'll be okay. But I'm less optimistic, man. I really think I should have scalped that at a loss, just taking that little loss, because it's a lot better to lose like $6 than it is to lose 37.50. And I don't know. I think I'm going to lose it right now. I think this is not looking good to me right here. This bar is not good. Although the thing about it is, there it is. There's the pain. I think I need to pull my stop back, man. I think there's a good chance I'm going to get stopped out here if I don't pull it back. I'd rather, I can't think, I'm going to give up $50 instead of $37.50. No, I'm only giving up $12 more to have a stop that actually doesn't get filled off of a stupid trade. So what is this? Where is this at? Let's just trade it like as if I had a big account, a regular account. 3082. Yeah, so man, if they're stop hunting, I'm done. And this is me giving back my money for the day right here. But I'm not going to move it again. I'm just not. This is the difference. There it is. Fuck! There's the angry trader. Okay, so I am up $13 for the day now. I'm up 1.3%. I should have never traded against the trend. And then, they just hit my stop again. Just hit it. So if it goes higher from here, oh man. Devastating. That was a devastating trade. It really, look at this, man. It just literally did not do what you would hope it would do off of something like that. Off those 2 bars like that. We cleared this level, man. But and it looked like it was going to be well above it, but it just didn't, man. So you take your loss. You take it and say, okay, it was good I took that loss, right? I'm well below, I'm going to be well below where my trade would have been profitable. I should have been buying in here rather than covering here. If I think this is the base and this is the resistance, I should not be buying breakouts. I should be buying the support and putting my stop below. So, buying here makes sense more than waiting for it to get up here to go in. But I need to be patient because the sellers are testing this every fucking time. Angry Trader now is back. What do you do about something like this? Yeah, see, I'd rather be buying here, I think, with a stop. I'm just doing it. I'm reckless. And then put the stop in there. Where is that stop anyway? It probably should be here, 473 or something. But you see, I bought at the support off of 3 red bars, which is never probably good. But they've not wanted to go much lower than that. So if this hits, I will actually be down for the day, and I'll be a little bit down in my account. My hope is that was a pretty good entry, and that I'm going to be looking to get out here or bring my stop real close up here at 40.91. So there we go. Nah, I don't know, man. I don't know. The buyer's gonna have to step in, man. That's all I'm saying. The buyers have to step in. If you're not stepping in now, then we don't have anything. I think it's just not worth it buying here. What looked like a good entry looks like not nearly as good right now. But my stop isn't so bad. I'm only down to take a 2% hit here. But yeah, this is not looking good. Sometimes you can test, and then it'll punch through, right? So there's a reason why most future traders lose money. I don't think I'm going to move my stop, though. I guess the least I should do is move it. Nah, I think I'll leave it. It's a good place to be. I mean, what's the book looking like? Shitty. No, it's not looking that bad. There we go, though. That was important. We need a green bar here. We need the buyers to step in. If the buyers aren't going to step in, then I am going short. Yeah.
Order filled.
Yeah, we're going down. I'm going to just start throwing money away. Yeah, if we break below this, we should, like right here, we should go much lower. Okay, my account is at $989. So I'm down $11 in my account. Down 1.1%. I was up 7% at one point today. Now I'm down 1.1%. Bad trades? I can't say. But you can see again, they just took my stop out probably. They probably just, yeah, see, I should have my stop here, but that would have been a lot of money to lose, you know? Um, but but this is the support, man. You can see it in the volume graph. So this is where this thing really helps, is you can just see here where it's at. So, man, it's just bad luck, you know? I'm just having some bad luck. I got, you know, you're gonna have to realize that sometimes you take your losses when the luck is bad, and you take your winners when your luck is good. It's always thinking about not making big mistakes. I'm making small mistakes. This is frustrating because what it is this is chop is what it is, and I'm trying to trade chop, and I've given all my money back to the market this morning because of it. Now it'd be nice to get a trade to scalp a little higher here,
Order filled.
um, and not get stopped out. Which this time I'm going to go here and just be willing to take this loss, because we've tested it just so many times. I just can't help but think on a gap up day that I should at least be able to trade this to a small scalp win. I should have waited. I should have waited for a little more green. The sellers are in control. We're below the moving average. We fail in the MACD. It's just a bad entry. So I'm going to look to just kind of get out at break even if I can here, because I don't really make a little small scalp profit. Because, yeah, this is just a way to just not trade, I think. I'm going to bring this real close. I'd rather just take that $15 off, because if this thing's going to go higher, it's going to go higher. It'll probably just take my stop out and then go higher is what will probably happen. But maybe not. Maybe I'm going to get one of these will go my way. One of these will go my way. It will. And just taking the small losses, I'm down $11 in my account, 1.1% down. I was up 7.8%, and I had, I think, 3 bad trades that forced me to give it back. And this, hopefully, we'll see some move off this bottom here. Oh, no, we're not. And the sellers are in control. We're chopping. I think if we do get up and start to move higher, it's really going to go good for us. Simply for the fact that, and I'm probably going to move my stop to break even right away if I can. And the reason is just because I have no confidence in this right now. I'd rather just be out. And so I'll take my $15 loss. We're talking about small, it's $15. I'm up like $4,000 in my AMD trade today. So probably. I'm not even looking at it, and I know. I can see that there. Well, no, I'm up a couple of $1,000. But yeah, so I'm making money in my, I made money today in the gap open off my long positions I'm holding in stocks. Okay, so now we're moving higher. So probably I'll move it to here. Yeah. So now I have a break-even trade. Now if I'm smart, maybe what I'll do is size in like here. So we'll try that. I'm gonna do a buy stop here. So we'll add another if that fills, and then I'll immediately put in a buy sell, so I'll get them both out at break even. It's a little trick I use in the stock market all the time. So I'll have a sell stop here if that one hits. I'll just quickly click this, and then I'll move my other stop up a little bit. So the idea is to get in, move this up to break even, Move this one up to break even. So now I'm sizing in a little bit. Keep going. If that one gets stopped out, that's okay, see, because I'll have the other one. And I just keep kind of moving these puppies up to lock in some profits. Here we go. Getting my money back. So now I'm already guaranteed that I'm going to be positive for the day. And I can move this one up aggressively to take profit from a pullback. And I can even put in another buy stop up here.
Order filled.
Okay. Oh, there's that, and then there's that. That didn't take long. Man, I don't know how that looked the way it did. I didn't think I...
Order filled.
How much did I even make on all that? Okay, I made $22. I made 2.2%. So, that is not... And then to see it just all be green is just no fun. You know, I didn't expect that. I should have kept my stops better. Should have just maybe not sized in quite so quick so I could still be long. I don't know. I'm not sure why that looked so ugly to me all of a sudden. But I did get my 2.2%. I'm scalping. This is just chopped all up. Until we clear this, you know, who knows what the heck's going to happen. But it's nice to be up for the day again. So I am up a little bit. My account is at a big whopping 1,020. So I'm actually up 2% in my account for the day. I was down just a bit ago. So I made $30 on that trade. And I should still be in it, you know. I should still be in it. I should have... It just is a little just too aggressive. I need to wait for it to get above this mark here. Get above this. And if it could just go a little bit faster and efficiently in the direction that I want, then I'd make money. And it is part about just being in the trade long enough and letting it develop. But I've gotten burned because of it not develop of even giving it time to develop. Wouldn't trade here. If I had gone in here, I'm still, we've just traded sideways. So I've just traded to chop is what it is, and it's bad. But I'm up. Here's the thing: is if you're not losing money and you're still up, then that's something, right? Okay, here we go. We're pushing it. We really want. It seems like the sellers are. In the book, the sellers look stronger. Look at this. Look at these sellers here. The sellers are stepping in. I can see it in the book over here. The sellers are there's some big sell there. Right, there's the push. Push higher. Man, I just don't know. I'm reluctant to trade anything long. It's a shame I'm not still in that position that I just got shook out of it. Still scared. This looks like a buy to me with a stop there. That'll still leave me with break even at the day. Is it 40.90? Yeah, I need to bring it back a little bit. I think I'm making the same mistake I just made a few minutes ago. Like I made the same mistake here. Now we got 3 bars here, so we're clearing resistance, so maybe it isn't quite such a mistake. Look at those sellers step in. Look at them. They're just pounding this. Pounding it. And now I'm going to move this up to keep me break even for the day. Because there's just no reason to stay in this right now, I think. If it's not going to just push fast. I don't want to be in it. Yeah. So I'm at break even for the day. 1,004. Like literally break even. I'm chasing. I just need to get in above this. I'm over trading. I'm panic trading. I'm making a lot of mistakes. See, if I could have just... They're hitting my stops all the fucking time. We're going in again. because I don't believe that there's any. I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna wait because here's the thing, it's just choppy is what it is. I keep thinking we're going to trend back upwards, but we've never done anything but go sideways since this trend down. And so until we can clear this resistance, there's just no point. So I'm break even for the day. But I'm going to be honest with you. I can make $150 to $200 an hour for my time. So I'm really down like $400 for the day. Just a little tip for you guys. Don't think about your trades as in how much money you make on your trades. You got to think about what your time is worth and what you could bill your time for and other things you could be doing. The opportunity cost today for me is huge. It's massively huge, especially since YouTube is giving me no love on my live stream, and they literally are not giving me any exposure to even see if people want to watch me or not. And it's kind of sad. It makes me really sad, actually, that YouTube. I really thought that they were giving new streamers a chance, new channels a chance. I had heard that when you're a new channel, that YouTube was giving you visibility and showing your stuff to people, and then like 100 people, and then if people liked you, then they would keep showing you. To give new channels a chance, but it looks like I'm buried in it, and it's really frustrating a little bit that's the case. I'm considering this chop still, and that I don't want to trade right now. I'm saddened that I'm not able to just have a little bit of luck. I can't say I've had bad luck, but I certainly haven't had good luck. I've had my stops hit every time, it seems like. Here's a case, though, where it was really good I had the stop in, because otherwise I would have given back even more money. But we're not gonna be a good futures trader until we can take the time to let the trade develop, get past the chop, and not trading during the chop, and knowing where the stops need to be, because there was a few times where I really got stopped out and I just shouldn't have. But to be up $4, 0.04%, yeah, that's just not where I wanted to be right now. Just not where I wanted to be. I was up $78 at one point, 7.8%, and this chop, I gave it all back. Lots of lessons in this. No one will probably ever really watch it, but there's lessons to be learned about what not to do. At the same time, from what an experienced trader's viewpoint of, because I am an experienced trader, is capital preservation. That I am waiting for the luck is really what it is. I'm preserving my capital. I'm cutting my losses short. I'm giving myself a chance to make some money. But I don't think anything I could have done stop-wise or managing these trades could have helped me much. I certainly wouldn't have gotten rich. There's no chance to let it run. There's no chance to let it go. I mean, I guess what it comes down to is that I'm too hopeful that the trend would reverse, and instead we're just going to trade sideways, and it could literally do this the rest of the day within this range, because this is starting to be resistance now. No, of course it is. Let's draw a line. Now here's an example of if I had drawn this line here, I might not have gotten in this trade, because this was the high. It tried here, and then we have lows, and so this needs to come down, really. There's our trading range. And probably what I'm going to start doing is moving these a little more on the outside because I don't want to be. I think this is pretty obvious now. Um, and then, of course, we have this line up here where we'll hit eventually. Um, so recognizing it as a consolidation, as a sideways chop, if you want to call it, would have saved me $75 probably and given me money back to the market. Because realistically, that you could say even a little higher. And then we immediately have resistance here. We'll have to get a past. So it's hard to see where the good entry is, really. It just really is hard to see. Now, the only thing I'd say is for scalping, it seems like this chop is a really good scalping chop because it's pretty wide relative to what you might expect maybe other days because it does seem pretty volatile. And so, for example, if I buy in here, like around this level, then there's a pretty good chance that it might fake out, but then we'll go back up to here again. The chances of a breakdown and going lower is probably not that high. It's probably pretty low. And then, you can see that it's starting to now go back up. Buyers are stepping in again. We're just chopping around. So I'm probably going to end this because it's getting so long. For any reason, there's nobody watching live. So we might as well just get out of it. And because I can always restart the broadcast. But it's getting time too where the best trades of the day are over. Probably the only time maybe would be, at least in stocks, and I guess it's the same in futures when you're trading stock futures. But the end of the day, coming back the last hour, last half hour of the day to look for trade opportunities sometimes makes sense. But this is kind of like from my experience from like 11 till 11 Central Time, which would be like 10 or 12, like noon market time to 4 p.m. market time, I would say is like it's usually the slowest times, and that you'll spend your opportunity costs are higher during that time. You could be doing other things. I'm going to work on some other projects. Close out, break even day. Man, it's disappointing being up 70 something dollars and having a 7% gain on your account. And then to give that back to end up basically with a break-even account. The good news is that is after my commissions. So I made a little tiny money today. I'm tempted to maybe take one little scalp trade here, just a little bit, see if, as long as the market doesn't move. Probably the best thing about probably the middle of the day like this kind of day, tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. I'd like to hear people's feedback if you happen to get around to this video and see what I'm saying here. There's a good chance nobody will ever hear me say what I'm saying right now because this video is going to be obscure. But should it happen, I don't think I think that would be the best reason to trade this time of day would be for the scalp. That we're gonna probably, once we get down here, there's a good chance that I can get out here, and then I can probably go short here and then scalp to here and just look at how many scalps you could do in this like rolling kind of price. And it would probably help if I could add another contract, or two into it on the scalps. Trade scalp 2 instead of 1 might make sense. Because definitely with these futures, it looks like that's a possibility. So going down again, testing lows again. I'm gonna end this right now just because it's getting long and there's nobody watching. If I had like 100 people on the chat, I wouldn't end it. But there's no use keeping open long videos because people don't want to watch long videos anyway. So with that said, I'm going to end this. Should I just take a long? Should I take a little quick long one here, hoping to scalp to get my $10 or something? I could have done it. I probably could have done it. Yeah, probably could have. But I'm going to just kind of use this to reflect on if I want to trade the chop and trade the scalp. I probably need some automated tools a little bit better, know my hotkeys a little better, so that I can execute faster and more automatically. Um, this is the sign that it'll move higher back to that resistance point. Yeah, it's like an instant. It's interesting. It's like it's almost like a wedge shape a little bit, and it's consolidating, moving tight into a tighter trading range. And it's a good thing I didn't go long. Yeah, this might be where I'd go long, like right here, because it'll bounce off that probably. And until it doesn't, and then it's just going to push lower, and we'll be down in the 440 50s. We'll be in the 50s range here. Oh, look at it. It is. That's what's happening. It looks like it's finally going to, if it holds this red bar, that's the key, is that this time the buyers aren't stepping in yet. Before, they always bought this bar. And so the temptation, I probably should buy here, because most likely it's not going to break through and just keep going lower. It probably isn't, but we'll see. Look at that. There it is. Now there is a good chance I think we go lower. And it's tempting to do a short now. But you might want to short to pull back. If it can't get back above this level after a few bars, then this becomes resistance and we go lower. Yeah, this is lower now. So this is a short.
Order fill.
And then a buy stop here. Yeah. And now I'll have my chance to at least scalp a little bit. I'm hoping for a continuation. There we go. All right, 1%. Keep falling. I'm going to keep my stop pretty close. I'm getting really good fills with Tradestation. I've gotten every fill to the penny so far. I've never had it go. It's like filled right at my stop. I've not had to give up anything. I'm glad I took that trade. Be up 2% on the day. Maybe more. Just let that kind of run a little. Maybe I will do this. Try to do another buy. How did I do that? Buy. Or no, sell. Sell. Do another sell stop on this thing. No, I don't want this. Get out. I don't want that. I want to take this closer is what I want. Take and make my 3% on the trade. See, that was a good short. That was a good short. Because I recognized it had broken through. I made it. I made an exact fill again. You can see it down there. My stop got hit and it got filled right on the market. Now see, that is really nice to have a broker that can make fills like that, man. I tell you what, I always use stops. I don't ever use limit orders because of it. I don't have to use limit orders. What's the point of limit orders if you're getting great fills like that? That's awesome. I just bring my stop like really, 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 really close. And it looked like a good place to be because now we are moving back up. Yay. All right. So we are now up 3.7.5% for the day. I almost was done. All right. Well, I am going to end this now. So at least we ended up on a little bit of a high note. I got a nice little short there. I'm going to just give a couple of takeaways from this. One, I think, is patience. I probably could have done 3 trades today rather than 15 or how many ever I did, a lot. I over traded. So reflection, poor patience, poor discipline, entering, wanting to have trades that aren't there, not being able to wait for the trade to develop. Probably like in this case, I probably should have kept my. I'm scalp trading, which is fine, but I probably could have kept again my stop back a little bit, and then I would have let the trade develop, and I would be right now adding to my percentages because I would have picked up another 3 points here. This thing could keep going lower for a long time. So it always becomes in like when to get in now. Do you get in on the pullback? Because now I don't think there's much of a case for a bullish market here anymore. Um, oh wow, Tesla down another 8 points today. Ouch. Um, yeah, so we're seeing some really big pullback here. The market, it looks like, has decided this whole inflation thing was news wasn't really quite as positive, or there's other news that I just haven't had to see. One of the things I asked for in the other was my other video was if you happen to be someone who trades and you're watching this, do you have a recommendation for a news feed? Because I really need a good news feed, and I just don't know which one to use or which one to recommend. So, and I'd like to do that. So here are my charts off the chart. I have to drag it back up. Yeah. So this might be where, I would cover if I had been smart. So I basically gave up, a third, or actually I gave up a third of that trade or more. And I guess I gave up 50% of that trade, probably, really. Because this is probably where I should be covering at. If, to take my order. But, hey, I got my, I almost was going to add another short in at that level. Instead, I covered, and it would have probably been better to short it again. So, takeaways is probably being a little bit more patient, a little more confident. Um, you know, the patience. This one it actually had broken through. This red bar completed, and this one had already started. So these support levels were gone when I entered this trade, and I was able to continue through it, and make a nice 3.5% on my money. So I'm up 3.7% in one day. So you can see how quick with futures you can make money, and how fast you can lose it too. I'm an experienced stock trader. I've done it a long time. And I make the same mistakes over and over again. I'm hopefully with this we'll get some discipline. Now, here's where you might want to try to do a scalp long maybe. And again, it's like I tend to over trade anyway. And I guess if you're over trading and you're making a lot of money, then over trading is a good thing. But usually, just by definition, over trade is what just starts to happen is you start giving money back to the market eventually. So waiting for the right times and waiting for confirmations. We're well below the moving average now. We're well below the VWAP, I'm sure. Let's see, where is that VWAP at? I'm going to move it up. See, where the heck is it? Jeez. Come on. Yeah, it's way up here. It's at the 99s, and we're at 69s. Yeah, so yeah, that's a big, 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 big drop. I should have stayed in that short, man. Look at that. I mean, after that consolidation, I should know continuation is usually the order of the day. So when you have long consolidations, you're usually going to break longer and harder when it finally gives way, is usually kind of the rule. So I gave back a lot on it. Actually, 10 point. I haven't even given back 10. Or I shouldn't say give back. I've left $10 off, 10 points. So it was a 10 point thing there that I really just didn't capture that last 10 points. So Yeah, because we're already kind of bouncing a little bit. Because you can see right down there, I got out at 40.62, which would be right here. So this is where I got out at. So it feels like I gave up a lot of money because it's all red through here, but I didn't really give out all that much. It's very scalpy right now. So I know I said I was going to end this video 50 times. I never have, so I'm finally ending it. Thanks for watching it. Like, if you are, and please hit that like and subscribe button. This channel's getting not any love at all from YouTube. I really thought they were giving new channels a chance. I had always heard that with new channels, when you put out that first video, they put it in front of people, but apparently not, because I don't have any views at all. And if YouTube's not going to give people views when they enter YouTube and start creating channels, and they're just not going to put their videos in front of people, they're not going to get any new content creators. The smart thing for them to do is when a new channel opens is when as soon as somebody goes live, as soon as somebody puts up a video, get that video in front of people. Let 100 or 200 people see it, and then if it's rejected and people are clicking off of it in the first 10 seconds, then don't put it in front of 100 people. But that's a rant, and it just is what it is. So well, thanks for watching, and hopefully you guys will join me again. Hit that like, subscribe button. These new channels obviously need a lot of love because we're just not getting it from YouTube.